I'm pretty sure that almost everyone knew that Devin Booker was going to be a star in the NBA. But I have to say that despite how good he's been over the past 2 years, I didn't expect him to continuously improve as a player as much as he has. But as the Suns have gotten better, so has Devin Booker, not only becoming an all-around lethal scoring threat, but building on other areas of his game as well and trying to improve on his weaknesses. It's not his scoring that's impressed me the most this season. It's the improvements to other areas of his game that make me confident that we probably still haven't seen the best of Devin Booker yet. People seem to forget, he's been in the league for 7 years now and he's still only 25. He's technically not even in his prime yet. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why this version of Devin Booker is the best version of him that we've seen yet, and why this Phoenix Suns team with a Devin Booker playing like this is a bigger threat to make it back to the finals than most people realize. We're going to be covering a lot, so be sure to stick around until the end so that you don't miss anything. As always, if you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get right into it. So why is this season better than any of Devin Booker's previous seasons? He's not even putting up his highest points per game average or his highest efficiency, so how can this be his best season yet? This season is the season we're finally seeing that incredible mid-range game that Booker has finally come to full fruition. He's always been a really good mid-range scorer, but this year we're seeing the culmination of years and years of development in that area of his game. He's attempting a career-high 6.4 shots in the mid-range this season. There are only 9 players in the NBA attempting 6 or more mid-range shots this season, and only 5 of them are shooting with an efficiency of 45% or higher on that many attempts. Devin Booker is 4th on that list with a 46.3% clip in the mid-range. He is unbelievably calm inside the arc. He's developed so many different ways to get his shot off, whether it's off the dribble or using his footwork to get a fadeaway off over the defender. There's just an effortlessness to Booker's mid-range game. The thousands of hours and tens of thousands of shots that he's put up over the course of his basketball career so far is visible when you watch him shoot from the mid-range. While it is incredibly graceful, there's also a mechanical feeling to it, a feeling that makes you realize it's clearly muscle memory for him at this point, and there's almost zero thought behind the shot, and it's purely automatic at this point. Now, about his three-point shooting. He's always been an okay to decent three-point shooter, but this year it's different. If you look back on his 2017-2018 season, you'll see that he was shooting 38.3% from beyond the arc. That number's a little bit deceiving though. The types of three-point shots that he's taking this year come with a much higher level of difficulty than the shots he was taking during that season. In that 2018 season, where he shot 38% from 3, he was also only shooting 30.8% on pull-up threes, which is not very good. This year, he's shooting a really solid 36.8% on pull-up threes. He just seems a lot more comfortable getting into space from beyond the arc. Instead of trying to get inside the arc to the mid-range or to the basket, he's taking what the defense gives him and letting it fly when he gets space and having full comfort and confidence in that three-point shot. This play is a really good example. He drives towards the baseline, but he's gonna bring it back to behind the three-point line. He recognizes that Kaminsky is gonna set a screen on his man, so he moves accordingly to direct his man into the pick. Now, pause. Normally, in years past, Booker would take this and drive to the elbow or to the rim for a shot. He's got a wide open lane, so he can get to one of his favorite spots and put up a shot, right? Instead, he stays behind the arc, steps back a bit, and lets the three fly. I expect him to continue to build upon the success that he's found from 3 as the season progresses, because that's something he'll be able to go to in the playoffs and rely on more and more as he becomes more comfortable as a three-point threat. I see zero reason that he can't eventually become a 40% three-point shooter down the road. All of this combined with the fact that he's also shooting 63% at the rim this year, you have a complete 3-level scorer. He's got the 7th most 30-point games this season, and there's no doubt in my mind that his scoring averages are just going to continue to go up as his career progresses into his prime. But we've always known that Devin Booker was a great scorer. That's the area of his game that has always been clear. So how is he doing in areas of the game outside of the scoring column? Well, he's actually been a great secondary playmaker with Chris Paul this year. That 4.6 assists that he's averaging may sound kind of underwhelming, but he's been passing the ball really well and making plays for his teammates. It's fun because you can tell that he's not just looking to score the ball. When he makes moves to get an open pass, he's doing it with the thought in mind to look for the next open man who might have a better shot. This play is a good example of that. He comes around the top to get the handoff from Ayton. They both clearly know exactly what they're going to do. Ayton immediately rolls to the basket and Book just throws it up there and they get the bucket. He's actively creating shots for his teammates and their chemistry is very apparent when he gets the ball and he's looking to get them an open look. This play is another great example. Payne gets the ball to Booker near the top of the key, and Booker immediately knows that Payne is about to cut. Payne takes the handoff, Booker screens, and then bam, they get some easy points. He's still their go-to scorer, but he's not just a scorer. He does so much away from the ball and so much to get his teammates involved that reducing him to just a scorer isn't true anymore. And now we get to talk about arguably my favorite part of Booker's game that we've finally seen develop, and that's his defense. Now, his defensive stats don't jump off the page, whether they're advanced or box score numbers, but he is still a key contributor for one of the best defenses in the entire NBA. His effort on defense is really good, and even though he's not the most physically gifted defender in the world, he's able to make up for his deficiencies with really high effort. He's fighting over screens, making prudent switches, disrupting passing lanes, and also getting the occasional steal. This play here shows some of that defensive feel on display from Booker. Wood's got the ball up top and Booker is on Daniel House. House is going to cut and set a screen on Chris Paul with Kevin Porter Jr. looking to get the pass in the corner from Wood. Now, Booker faked like he was going to keep going with House towards the rim to make Wood think that the pass to KPJ is open in the corner. Now, once Wood passes it, Booker jumps the passing lane and gets the steal. This is just some really good defensive feel, knowing how to bait a guy into a bad pass that you can turn into a transition opportunity. Here's another great defensive possession from him. He's on the other side of the court, but notice how his eyes are locked onto the ball while simultaneously being aware of the screen that's about to be set. The pass goes towards Siakam and OG, and he just absolutely blitzes the lane and sprints off for the bucket. While he's not an all-defense caliber player by any means, he's certainly a really solid defender now. The Suns wouldn't be nearly as good of a defensive team as they are if he wasn't, so he deserves some credit for that. His play is one of the biggest reasons that the Suns are the only team in the entire NBA that are top 5 in offensive, defensive, and net rating. Their record is absurd right now, having the best record in the NBA at 38-9. Phil Jackson always said that a true contender is a team that makes it to 40 wins before they make it to 20 losses, and the Suns are way ahead of schedule. I think it's very safe to say that we can call them a contender. The tandem of him and Chris Paul has been a lethal combo, and they are both playing at an all-star level. This team is easily a threat to make it out of the West again, and I'd imagine if they make it back to the finals, they're going to be a much more difficult team to beat. So do you think that the Phoenix Suns are going to make the finals again? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and as always, be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel and leave a like, because that's the #1 way to help me out with the YouTube algorithm and get this video recommended to more people. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.